Hey all, and welcome to Shadow of Space, and we've got one more BCP video. This is called Woke Democrat Mayor Resigns as she arrested after pleading guilty to being a Chinese agent. 1 second. This is uploaded May 11th. This is being recorded May 12th, and link is in the description.
We're learning more about a spy case that's shaken Arcadia City Hall, and the mayor still refuses to comment. Mayor Eileen Wang's former fiance and campaign manager has been sentenced to prison. Yao Ning's son, a.k.a. Mike's son, was caught spying for China. Wang is distancing herself from the case, but now we're hearing from a woman who says she was approached by the spy. Arcadia resident and citizen journalist Sonia Martin told our Tom Waite she met Son at a luncheon before it was known that he was an agent.
I thought it was a ladies' lunch, and I showed up, and this, guy was there. He would get up and serve, and make sure you eat this.
You know why he was there?
No, I didn't. And she did introduce me to him at the beginning as her fiance. I'm just sick of it. I'm so just fed up.
Martin took this photo of Son in shackles. Mayor Wang is not accused of any wrongdoing. Again, no comment from the mayor or from the Arcadia City Council.
Boy. So we got to talk about a bombshell story out of Arcadia, California, which I believe is in the Los Angeles area, involving an apparent Chinese spy, right? A Chinese operative working on behalf of the CCP to influence U.S. politics. She has now been charged by the DOJ as she pleads guilty to the charges against her, right? The allegations against her. And I want to talk about it because this woman was a Democrat, and she has some deep Democrat affiliations. And I think it brings up questions about, if this woman is being influenced by the Chinese, how many more Chinese operatives, CCP operatives, spies do we have in the United States working on behalf of a foreign country?
I think there have been at least two people who have been in positions of power in government that are undocumented.
I'm sure there's a lot more of these individuals who have been embedded in our country due to our mass immigration policies, allowing all of these people to come here. And this is the result, right? This is the consequence of...
Where was the vetting? When did they actually come into the country?
Of opening up your borders illegally and legally as well, too. So we got to talk about this story because the timing of this story is what we really should be paying attention to. This comes after her ex-fiance and campaign staffer was convicted of being a Chinese spy. So this has been something that has been going on for a while. People in her circle have already been convicted of working for the CCP, and they finally got her.
Spies.
So let's start off learning about what happened before, and then we're going to get an update about what's going on today. So without further ado, let's get into it.
A developing story now. We are learning more about a spy case that's shaken Arcadia City Hall. Mayor Eileen Wang's former fiance and campaign manager was just sentenced to prison after he was caught spying for China.
Tonight, new information on this story. We're hearing from a woman who says the spy tried to recruit her.
And CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite is live in Arcadia now with that woman's revelations. Tom?
Yeah, once again, very intriguing, Rudabeh and Pat. And this case in many ways feels like it should be closed, right? The spy was sentenced last week, but one citizen journalist here in Arcadia says that is not the case. She says there are still many open questions.
We have a car?
Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang on Tuesday night refusing to answer our questions about a now convicted Chinese government spy, Yao Ning's son, also known as Mike's son, who Mayor Wang once referred to as her fiance, boyfriend, and campaign manager. I just think it's important for people to understand just your reaction to the sentence.
I don't have the comments right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sun was sentenced last week to 4 years in prison for his work as a spy. According to court documents, his mission was to groom a Southern California politician, help them rise in the ranks, and then promote pro-Chinese Communist Party interests in the U.S. Longtime.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Wow.
it sounds like we know exactly who he was trying to groom, right? The mayor here, right? That is what it sounds like. Knowing what we know today, pretty obvious, right? That she should have been investigated, okay, after this person was convicted.
Arcadia
Well,
resident
her, it
and
was
citizen journalist Sonia Martin
lot of people
met
who were
Sun
close
at a
to her,
luncheon
sounds
before
like.
it was known he was a spy for the Chinese government. Martin says Wang asked her to help her make good on some campaign promises. Martin declined.
I thought it was a ladies' lunch, and I showed up, and this, guy was there, and I was like, who's this? I thought this was going to be a ladies' lunch.
Martin says Sun was quietly observing the lunch.
Just quietly kind of serving. We would get up and serve, and make sure you eat this.
You know why he was there?
No, I didn't. And she did introduce me to him at the beginning as her fiance.
After news broke that Sun was charged with being a Chinese government spy, Martin tracked the case closely, even going to Sun's sentencing last week. She took this photo of Sun in shackles as he was led out of the courtroom.
The only thing he said to the judge was, "I wrote you a letter."
Mayor Wang is not accused of any wrongdoing.
Oh,
As is standard,
good.
the U.S. Attorney's Office would not confirm or deny whether she is under investigation.
Next item, number 6.
For now, it appears it's business as usual in Arcadia. No mention Tuesday night of Sun or his sentence. Martin says she doesn't think residents are getting the full story.
I'm just sick of it. I'm so just
Well, we're back.
fed up.
Are you fed up? Might be.
And tonight we reached out to every member of the city council in Arcadia, including the mayor. None of them responded to us.
Oh.
Reporting live in
Surprise,
Arcadia, I'm Tom Wade,
surprise.
CBS LA.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Now, fast forward to today, right? Lo and behold, she has pled guilty to promoting Chinese propaganda.
We begin with breaking news. The mayor of Arcadia has agreed to plead guilty to being a foreign agent spreading Chinese propaganda.
And for more on the charge against Eileen Wang, we're joined now by Kevin Ozebek.
Well, David and Giovanna, federal investigators say instead of acting in the best interest of the people who elected her, Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang acted in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party. Mayor Wang, seen here in campaign videos she posted online, has accepted a plea deal that could see her spend up to 10 years behind bars.
Wow.
Federal prosecutors say the mayor and a then fiancé were posting Chinese Communist Party propaganda on a website called U.S. News Center. According to court documents unsealed today, Mayor Wang received and executed directives from PRC government officials to post pro-PRC content on this website and sometimes sought approval from PRC government officials to circulate other pro-PRC content.
Wow.
The website that we're talking about looked like a standard news website that got a lot of traffic in the community. If you signed on, it looked kind of like the CNN website, does, with lots of different just regular news updates, and then peppered in with the regular news were these items of propaganda.
And we just checked, Arcadia City website has now been updated, and it says Wang has resigned from Arcadia City Council effective today. A new mayor will be selected at the next regular council meeting. Now, you may remember earlier this year, Mayor Wang's former fiance and campaign manager was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison. Yao Ning Mike's son pled guilty to 1 count of acting as a foreign agent.
I mean, just for all the people in all of the headache that they give to someone like Donald Trump, and yet someone like this is right under their nose and they do nothing. Maybe they don't care. I mean,
to
that's
a foreign government.
pretty likely.
Live in the studio, Kevin Ozebek, ABC 7.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What is even more interesting is that this Chinese spy was given an award by
Wow. Well,
Chinese.
see, like, due to that story, was it Ireland that elected that trans person who's there on a visa, isn't even a citizen? Like, This is where we are.
Sitting member of Congress, who also happens to be a Democrat. Council member Eileen Wang receives award recipient of Congresswoman Judy Chu's Congressional Women of the Year Award. On Saturday, April 13th, Councilmember Eileen Wang was recognized by Representative Judy Chu at the annual Congressional Women of the Year Award ceremony. This recognition served as a tribute to the remarkable women driving progress and change across the San Gabriel Valley. Quote, "It is a tremendous honor to represent the Arcadia community in this capacity," said Councilmember Wang. Quote, "I'm deeply passionate about our community and committed to making it the best it can be. Seeing women unite with a purpose to prioritize our community was inspiring. Together we work for a brighter, more inclusive future for all." Yeah, sounds woke. Sounds about woke.
Yep.
Right? So this is when she was
It'll
on
get
city
all
council.
those people on
She was
board.
given an award from Judy Chu, a sitting Democrat, right, who's also Chinese. I mean, she was born in America, but, you know, she's ethnically Chinese. For her...
See, because then you have to ask, was she in on it? What did she know? How much did she know?
tributes to the remarkable women
I mean,
driving...
bro, you know, all of these women that got these awards are in on something. You have no
progress
idea.
forward and making change in the community. Was this CCP approved, right? It begs the question.
You don't know.
Was this
Could've been.
CCP approved? Did the Chinese government say this was okay? Right? Seriously,
You don't know.
How
Yeah.
deep is the infiltration? Because this is not the first time we've seen stories like this. Like, for example, out in New York, we have a similar story.
A former top aide in New York is accused of using her position to live a life of luxury and benefit Chinese interests. Federal prosecutors say Linda's son acted as an undeclared spy for China, persuading two New York governors to take actions favorable to China in exchange for millions of dollars in side deals. Prosecutors allege she and her husband used the money to fund a
Wow.
lavish lifestyle. For example, paying cash for this nearly $4 million
And yet,
Long Island.
Elizabeth Warren is going to sit here and complain about valid investors making a trade before Donald Trump tweets something that alters the oil prices.
Mansion.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that. What do we have here? We have a mayor out in Arcadia, California, that just pleaded guilty to being a Chinese spy. We have
Well, who's pleading guilty to being a Chinese spy, and who other people in their, I don't even know what you'd call it, staff, their campaign staff, are also spies.
Democrat predators like Eric Swallowswell, who's
Yeah.
now disgraced out of Congress, who was accused of banging a Chinese spy. You have Democrat aides out in New York to the governor that have been accused of being Chinese spies, using their influence over Democrat governors in order to sway them to make decisions that are favorable towards the CCP. What do all of these stories have in common? Democrats, right? Democrats. The far left Marxist wing of the Democrat Party that is currently taking over the Democrat Party is explicitly pro-China, pro-CCP, right? Their number one soldier here in the United States, Hassan Piker, is explicitly pro-Chinese and has said that he is trying to make the United States like China, that we should model China. And again, these people have influence within the Democrat Party.
You
Yeah,
said something interesting.
But Hassan Piker also,
You know, I was
Yeah.
born in the Soviet Union, so we both have direct experience of socialism in various shapes and forms. You talked about, well, there's positives and there's negatives. So Is there a country that's done socialism the way that you like?
I would say China is probably the closest, and there are still plenty of failures within the Chinese system as well, plenty of issues within the Chinese system as well.
Is there any irony that he's sitting here talking about the praises of communism while he's wearing a shirt that says Dungeon of Democracy? Is this supposed to be like democracy is in the dungeon because we've gotten rid of it?
Socialism the way that you like.
I would say China is probably the closest, and there are still plenty of failures within the Chinese system as well, plenty of issues within the Chinese system as well. But that's probably the closest, I would say, to an example that we should follow and lessons that we should learn from. This is something that I talk about quite a bit. Ironically enough, we only utilize some of the most repressive elements of Chinese governance here in the United States of America, especially in the second Trump administration, and none of the good stuff.
Chat.
Oh, no way!
It's a small one.
And it's the first version.
It's the first. Wait.
Yeah. Really?
Is that a Bible?
No, that's a little red book.
It is basically
The
little red book.
The little red book.
It's the red Bible is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some may say more important than the Bible. Some may.
Especially over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like religion is the opiate of the masses.
No, that's crazy. I don't have any sort of patriotism in my heart for any, for America, but just in general. I'm not like a very, I care about people. My mind, in my conscience, I have already become Chinese. Okay?
No, you aren't,
We were
because you just said that you don't believe in nationalism. You aren't Chinese. You're a fucking poser.
Already white Chinese in this chat. I've already become full Chinese. Okay?
People in China, can you say that, well, they probably won't
Let me
say
just
it.
start by saying that. It's fucking sick. Okay? Like, you have abundant style consumption paired up with a centrally controlled economy, an economic system that has yielded tremendous development. You have 1950s Soviet era building blocks next to the Gucci store. If there was ever a country that represented the synthesis, the things that I enjoy so much personally, if ever so
They cater to me and my culture so much, and that's what I love about it. What a jackass. Holy
exists that I do
shit.
not know. You have to try the premium grilled chicken sandwich at McDonald's China, or I'm gonna report you to the CCP officials. You have met me at a very Chinese time in my life, chat.
So again, my question is, how deeply has the CCP
Literally just another 12-year-old.
infiltrated the Democrat Party? It's not a question that the Democrats have been infiltrated. The question is how deep. Not just in politics, we're talking about academia, corporate America, all of our major institutions. How deep does this go? I think that's a pretty solid question. If this woman could become mayor, sitting mayor, imagine how many of these individuals we have embedded in our institutions, at the top of our institutions, making decisions, influencing on behalf of the CCP, on behalf of an enemy, a foreign enemy. And I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of these institutions just so happen to be liberal, right? The ones that we're saying that are getting caught up.
Joe Biden influence peddled to get his son the head of an oil company or something. That's all they do, is they just sell secrets. That's all they do, is they write tell-all books about how all of the testimony that they gave in hearings was completely wrong.
almost as if
That's all they do is influence
are
peddle.
aligned with the CCP in a lot of ways, right? That the CCP
And yet,
likes the agenda.
the only person who's had their documents seized is Donald Trump.
Of the left, right? That's more favorable towards them than the Republicans. That's what it sounds like to me. So, this woman pleading guilty raises questions that need to be answered. But that's what we have as of right now. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
I mean, just where are all the people talking about how Republicans are weaponizing the justice system to go after their political opponents? No, she's pleading guilty to being groomed to send information to China. You know what the hilarious thing is that, like, even though this got attention, breaking news, nothing is probably going to happen as a result of this. This is going to be an isolated incident. Ooh. I mean, there was... You played that story of that other person who was also a spy. So, like you say, there are potentially whole bunches of people that you just don't know. We wouldn't know. So, right, we'll see if they get any more or whatever.